If fear is the only thing stopping us from achieving our dreams, and we only fear what we don't understand, then the antidote to fear is knowledge. All we have to do is find out who has the knowledge that we need to conquer our fears and achieve our entrepreneurial dreams. My name is Callum Walker, and welcome to the podcast that will help you figure it out and conquer this lonely entrepreneurial journey.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the podcast. What a weekend. What a weekend. Well, I say weekend, it's Saturday today. It's Saturday. I'm driving back from Birmingham because we have just had a full immersion day with the elite coach. If you want to get yourself in a room of people who, I don't like this like-minded people. But I think just people in the same sort of situation as you. Do you know what I think the ultimate pain is in running a business, and specifically maybe a coaching business? The ultimate pain and the ultimate problem is the loneliness. It is. It's the loneliness. And it's not the fact that you have to do everything on your own. It's the fact that not everyone thinks the way that you do. And it can be insanely lonely because, I remember for myself, that when I first started my business up, I was 22. I'd just come out of uni. All of my mates had, they've got jobs. They're meeting people. They're making new friends. They're going out. They were living like this London lifestyle. And I decided to start a business. And it was just it was so hard because no one understood the unique challenges and difficulties that come with a business. Everyone was almost like, it must be easy for you running a business. I'm like, fuck me, you have no idea. You have no idea. I'm depressed most of the time, just relentlessly anxious because I haven't got Scooby-Doo where my next client's coming from. But then the other thing is also, again, I come back to not just people outside of the entrepreneurial space. It's interesting. When I was single, it's quite fun at this. When I was single, long time ago now, I went on a date with this girl, and she was actually, she was like a real top gymnast, and she ran a business almost kind of doing these insane gymnastic sort of events, but for private conferences and stuff. I remember, obviously it didn't work out between the two of us. It was actually a bit of a catastrophe, and she hated me, and I'm sure that she wanted to snip my testicles off and hang them by the Christmas tree. I was a bit different to how I am back then. But anyway, I come back to, it just didn't quite work out between two of us. But she said something with me, which was really interesting. So bear in mind, it was really cool because she said that she traveled around the world. She'd go to the Maldives, she'd go everywhere. She'd get paid to go and perform at these events. And, she was like, do you ever feel like a wizard in a muggle's world? I was like, oh, yeah, like that. Probably one of the only things I like about you, but I like that. Yeah, it can really feel like you are a wizard in a muggle's world. But then also, even when you do get into the wizarding world, let's say that you get into Hogwarts, you start to realize that there's a lot of wizards in there who are entrepreneurs, who are running a business, who understand the unique struggles that come with running a business and challenge, but they're dicks. It's almost like you're Harry Potter and you're just surrounded by Draco Malfoys. Even when you do find other people who are on the same journey, you're just like, oh God, this sucks. Maybe you've been in a mentorship program before. I know I have, I've been in a mastermind. I just remember being in that mastermind, just being like, God, I just don't like anyone in this room. They just have different values. And I think the big shift, if I look at kind of the room of people that I had yesterday, yes, everyone was in there to, really kind of level up, grow their business, grow themselves. But I think the difference was, and I think this is the thing I found in the fitness industry specifically, there's a lot of mentorships and masterminds out there that are just solely almost kind of pushing you to become a predator. Pushing you to basically become a predator and just prey on vulnerable people, and I just don't like that. And I also think that that's a commonality in the coaching space. It's a commonality in the mentoring space that these mentors are predators just preying on vulnerable people, and they're training you to become the same. They're training you to become the same as well. And I know for myself, I was once in a mastermind and it was just giving off that vibe. Not coming from a place of substance, but more, how can you make any more calls, more DMs, more content just to get the sale over the line? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not this delusional person who's like, sales don't matter. Like, no, sales are so important. You got no customers, you can't coach. You got no customers, you got no money. You got no customers, you got no money, you got no business. End of story. You have to sell, yeah, but sell from a place of integrity. Sell from the place of the fact that you've got a high quality product and you want to get it into the hands of people who genuinely need it. And I think that's what I had in the room yesterday. So I think that this is a really, really important point for you in terms of, it was interesting because we were really talking about retention yesterday, a lot around retention. And when we're looking at retention, there's 3 core things that you have to master to really, really ensure that you have a high quality retention. Now, who am I to talk about this? I like to think my retention's pretty good. That I know that when someone comes onto my elite coach program, they're going to be with me for at least 3 years, at least. And I'm pretty happy and content with that. And the ones who have finished I actually like to see it more as they've graduated. That it's like, yeah, okay, we got the job done. And we didn't really need to kind of, that they could go elsewhere because they were experiencing different problems. So when we're looking at retention, there's 3 core things. And I've pressed on the 1 already. And the first one is that community. Because remember, our business really is all about the relief of pain. It is about the relief of pain. Now, I'm going to kind of go into this here in terms of what I was talking about yesterday. In terms of, if I was running a coffee business and I was selling coffee, what I would not sell would be how great the beans are. I would not sell the fact that my coffee tastes better than everyone else. Or I wouldn't just talk about how amazing coffee tastes, because it's not that. Because if you are a coffee fanatic and you adore your morning cup of coffee the exact same way that I absolutely adore mine, and I'm obsessed with my cup of coffee, what is the most special thing about your morning cup of coffee? What is it? And I asked that to everyone yesterday, and they all said the first sip. But specifically, you think about that first sip. What is it about the first sip? It's that sensation of you have that sip and then you immediately go, oh, that's what you're selling. But remember, in terms of selling, it's not just on the front end of bringing someone into your program, but also you have to keep selling within your program. Like when they're in your program, you have to keep selling to your clients, giving them a reason to actually stay. So fundamentally, what is that? It's relief. It's that relief. When you haven't had that cup of coffee and you go and have that drink and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, it's relief. You think about it, and I remember when this thought hit me. Me and Alice were, we were at one of our national trusts. It was really, really sunny. And we were in this massive, manor. It was this big manor. And I can't remember what it was. I can't even remember where it was, but it was really sunny. It was a huge, almost kind of like Tudor-based business. It was so funny because I was like, I've cracked it. I have these things. It always happens to me like national trusts. I should probably go to some more. But I remember just walking around and I said, we call each other Bean. It's like one of our names. And I was like, Bean. She was like, what is it? She's like, cracked it. She's like, cracked what? It's like, I've cracked selling. And she's like, oh, shut up. She just turned around and walked away. I was like, oh. I realized that's what we are selling. Fundamentally, at the core of everything is relief. It's relief. Think about paracetamol. Why do you go and buy paracetamol? Which is pain relief. Think about a burger. If I was at McDonald's and I was selling a burger, what am I actually selling? It's not the bun. It's not the beef. It's not how amazing it's going to taste. It's that first bite. When you have that bite, what's that feeling after? It's that, it's that relief of hunger. That relief of appetite. It's just God. It's like, So when you haven't seen your friends for so long, you give them a hug, you're like, it's a relief. I'm with you. It's almost like, when you You don't have fresh bed sheets. How amazing are fresh bed sheets? You jump in those bed sheets and you're like, it's the relief of fatigue. So what is the ultimate pain that we're actually really, really solving in terms of our own business? The ultimate pain we're actually solving in terms of our own businesses, the loneliness and misunderstanding. You think about that loneliness. What is the ultimate pain of running a business? The ultimate pain of running a business is that one phrase. How many times have you thought to yourself, nobody gets it? People just don't get it. Like, my partner doesn't get it, my friends don't get it, like the world don't get it, my clients don't get it. Even the other wizards within the wizarding world of entrepreneurship don't get it. Whereas yesterday, if I think about the thing that I'm most proud of is my community. And I don't like using the word community, but it's almost kind of like my group. It's my tribe. It's a place where if you're a coach who you want to grow, you want to become better, you want to become more, but you want to do it from a place of integrity, from a place of substance, in terms of building a business where you feel energized, full of vitality, excitement, awe, wonder. You know that you're the best that you can possibly be. One, you deliver the best service, but then also you're the best across your energy, your life, your happiness, all of these things. That's what the room of coaches was yesterday. And all of the other guys, they're friends. Like, they're friends. Like, we've literally organized a meetup outside of my coaching program. I'm not charging for it. Like, a few of us have organized a meetup that, we're going to go here and we're going to go do this, this, and this. Like, how amazing is that? And it's like, for myself, I'm so proud because I've created my own friendship group who are my clients. But then also within that, all of my clients, all of the other coaches have become friends. How amazing is that? And that's why they stay. Because the key thing is that they're not just leaving the program, they're also leaving their friends. They can't. Because where else are they going to find other coaches who are on the same journey with the same values, who are their friends? They're not. So, number one, got to make sure that we can get clear on, in terms of the retention, in terms of your coaching program, what are you doing to really deepen the relationship with other people within the coaching program. So within the coaching program, how are you making it so that they can build relationships with one another? Because that's what keeps them in there. You're creating that place. Secondly, is their relationship with you. Their relationship with you. What are you doing to really kind of showcase who you really, really are? How can you really be their guide? My really good friend, Michael Lennon, always says, you are the guide on the side. Phil Brady also talks about this. He was also a favorite trick. Yeah. So you are the guide on the side. What are you doing to really kind of get them to deepen the relationship with you? I have a members only podcast, which is a podcast just for the people within my coaching program. And they get to listen to me, really kind of share the things that I'm doing to grow my business, to level up my performance, to improve my marketing, my messaging, my selling, all of these specific things. They get to know me on a deeper level. They get to know what I'm like when they come to events. They understand my weaknesses. They understand my strengths. They understand me away from business. They know my partner's names. They know my dreams, my aspirations, my fears, everything. They deepen their relationship with me, because then they're not just leaving the other people, they're also leaving their guy who understands them. But then the other thing is myself. I have spent an inordinate amount of time, energy, and effort to really get to know my clients on a deep level, to actually understand them away from business. I know who their partners are, I know who their kids are, I know who their friends are, I know what they like to do, I know what gifts I can potentially purchase for them. Like, I've made them my friend. And I think that what I don't like is there's a lot of mentors who are like, don't make your clients friends. I'm like, no, that is stupid advice. Because, okay, let's say that a client then becomes a friend and is no longer a client. Okay, that's fine, but you've gained a friend. How great is that? So go and make your clients your friends. And do you need to have a coaching boundary? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that you have to be completely isolated. Like, no, I don't like that. One of the things that I absolutely adore about my program is the fact that it's the relationships. And it's interesting because if we look at it from a health perspective, and I was having a conversation with my mum this morning. We went for breakfast. And it was really awesome, actually. I just sat there for breakfast and we were talking about health. And I said, Mum, do you know what the number one ultimate consistent and powerful predictor of how long you're going to live actually is. And she said, is it obesity, your weight? Is it your mental health? Is it your risk of cancer, your risk of cardiovascular disease? And I said, no. Do you know what it is? It's the quality of your relationships. People who have longer relationships live longer. And I was like, well, think about it. It makes sense because, like, if you've got no one, you've got no one to hang around with. You've got no reason to hang around for, have you? Whereas if you've got people that you adore, you have high quality relationships, you've got a reason to still be on this planet, haven't you? It makes so much sense. It's the same with your coaching program. What are the quality of the relationships like with your clients? What are the relationships and the quality of those relationships like with your clients? Because if you can deepen the relationship with them, you'll really enjoy yourself. And do you know what happens when you really enjoy yourself? You then end up performing better and putting on a better service. It was interesting, we were talking about this yesterday, where I was saying you have to really care about your clients. And I said to them, I said, but here's the kicker. You've got to be really careful because you can't care about everyone. I've had some clients where I've gone, I really have tried to like you. I'm going to be honest. I really have tried. I've really tried my best, but you are just a dick. Like you are. I'm sorry. I don't say that to them, but internally I'm like, I don't care about you because I don't like you. It's really hard to care about someone that you don't care about, and that's fine. So you've got to get clear on who do you actually want to work with? Who do you want to bring in so that you can legitimately care about them? If I look at my clients, I legitimately care about them solely because I care about them, because I like them, because they're my friends. That's it. And if I don't like them, I don't care about them, and they shouldn't be in my program. But the beauty is that because I care about them, I go above and beyond. And we can really take advantage of the amazing saying Napoleon Hill said, which is, if you're willing to do more than you're paid for, eventually you'll be paid for more than you do. And remember that paid for more than you do isn't just around finances. I look at the relationships I've got with my clients that, it was amazing. We're setting up a franchise over here in England to train people to become personal trainers. And Ryan, it really kind of like touched my heart yesterday. Ryan lives in Ireland and he was like, mate, if you need an assistant coach to really kind of help you out in terms of the coaching side of things, like, yeah, I'll fly over and do it. Like, no expectations, nothing. He was like, yeah, I'll help you out 100%. Why? Because he cares about me. Why does he care about me? Because I care about him. So how are you almost kind of vetting people in, and who do you really care about? And do you care about your clients? And if you don't, that's fine. But go and find some people you can bring in to care about. Because when you care about them, you step up. And when you step up, you deliver a better service. And when you deliver a better service, well, they ain't going anywhere. Because then they're developing. They're getting better. They see a reason to stay with you. And that's the thing. Retention isn't complicated. We try and complicate it with all these retention hacks. Keep it super simple. Give them a reason to actually stay in your program. Why should I stay? And that comes down to the relationship with you. It comes down to the relationship with other people. And thirdly, it comes down to the one other thing, which is progression. Can they see a future with you? And this is why I say to you, and I say to all the coaches, and I'm going to say this to you right now listening to this. Get away from selling fat loss. Why? Because fat loss is finite. Once someone's dropped body fat, what do? Maintenance. Yeah, just keep paying me £200 a month to do the exact same thing. It doesn't work like that, sunshine. Like, they're not going to keep paying that. How are you progressing these people? So it's interesting because I look at all of the coaches who come into my world. They come in to level up nutritionally. But then it's amazing because they start to develop into this amazing coach. But also they start to develop into the, fantastic entrepreneur, the strong, powerful, creative, exciting, enthusiastic entrepreneur who is full of creativity, who really is able to actually throw their creativity to go and build the business that they really want to build with the people that they want to build it in the way that they want to do it. And that is a never-ending journey. So they're constantly progressing. So my tip to you in terms of progression, the easiest thing to do is to start seeing health and fitness as a vehicle, not the result. Because it's not about getting into shape. It's what's life going to look like once they get into shape. That's what we're selling. But also that's what we're coaching. Health and fitness is not the destination, it's the vehicle. What's the destination? What are you going to be able to do once you're in shape? What are you going to be able to do once you feel better? Once you look better? Once you're fitter? healthier, more energetic. What are you going to do? That's why they're in their program, in your program. So get clear on that. Never forget, for every one of your clients, gave you just one new client, double your business.
Have you got a client who isn't losing weight right now and you have absolutely no idea why? And maybe you're worrying that if nothing changes, they could drop off at any moment? Well, I've got a free nutrition masterclass for you where I reveal the secret nutrition strategy that guarantees that stuck client loses 2 to 4 pounds in the next 7 days without lowering their calories, upping their cardio, or even tracking macros. Click the link in the description to get access to the free Elite Nutrition Secrets Masterclass and get your client moving in the right direction, stopping them dropping off today.